Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Sunday, April 27th, after the Celtics Game 4 win over the Orlando Magic. Dropped Game 3 in Orlando, bounce back 107-98 victory for the Celtics. Very entertaining game, very physical game, as has been the case the whole series. Jayson Tatum had a big night. Kristaps finally gave them something offensively, which was huge. Jaylen had a pretty solid night, although he still looks pretty hurt. And the Celtics got the win. Celtics are going back to Boston, up 3-1. We'll have a chance to close it out at home, just like they did last year against Miami in the first round.
Whew. This game gave me a headache. I'll tell you that. It was a mess. I thought they were going to let this one slide in the fourth quarter when they gave up, I think it was the 5-0 run to have Orlando tie it at 91. And I was just like, this is really going to happen again, man? Like, they're going to drop this game in Orlando. But they closed really well. They did a good job. Got to give them credit. That's the way you have to respond if you're a championship team. The difference between tonight and Thursday or Friday's game was when Orlando tried to storm back and get ahead and take control of the game, the Celtics let them get close, but they got back to the bend, don't break type of thing that they did a lot of last year and they did this year when they were at their best points. And that was great to see. It's the type of thing you need to do to win a championship. It's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. There are going to be games like this that are just a mess. This was an ugly game. I don't think either team had a great offensive day. No, both 43% from the field, sub 30 from three. Ugly, ugly game. And sometimes you have to find a way to win the rock fight. And the Celtics did it to their credit. They got pretty good looks down the stretch. Their offense became a lot more crisp. You got some really great shots from Jayson Tatum at 16 in the fourth quarter. Granted, 9 of them were free throws, but he was still 3 of 6 from the field. Can't complain at all with what we saw from him in this game. He showed great resolve, had 14 rebounds. Guy has just become a monster on the glass. And it's nice to know that the wrist thing isn't really going to linger and bother him because he's had 2 very strong performances, even if he wasn't the most efficient in this game after hurting his wrist after coming back. So Tatum is the big star, and we could talk about everybody else too, but thumbs up. Good job, Celtics. You punched back.
Tatum was so good, man. And not that this is what you were saying, but in case anybody on Twitter decides to say it, he had 16 points in the fourth quarter, and yes, 9 were free throws. He earned those free throws. He earned though. These were not bonus free throws. These were I'm gonna drive through the physicality and get fouled free throws. Even the one he got fouled on a 3, like these guys are in his shit, slapping his arms. Of course, you're gonna get like he's gotten called for fouls on 3 3-point attempts in the past 2 games. Like these guys, they don't know where to draw the line. And it caught up to him in this game. The Celtics won. I think 32 free throws, I think, in this game, and they made 30 of them. So shout out to them for making 30 of 32 free throws. Tatum was 14 of 14 from the line. Watching him watching him take over this game down the stretch was so entertaining. Every possession just got a matchup he wanted, hunted, got a good shot, bucket or foul or whatever. He was dialed in from the mid range. He had a solid night from 3 when it mattered. He was unbelievable. His rebounding was great, especially against the Magic team who thrived off their offensive rebounding last game. This was everything you want out of a superstar. And I mean, just like it was the case last year, everyone's going to be so quick to 10 of 25, 3 of 10. He was inefficient. He had 14 free throws, man, and 14 rebounds and 3 steals and only 2 turnovers when he had the ball in his hands as much as he did in 42 minutes of action. This was an incredible Jayson Tatum game. He is absolutely dominating since coming back from his wrist injury, and he likes to let you know, too, because he's fallen in love with the wrist celebration, which he told us was Baylor Shireman's idea after the game.
I've also fallen in love with it for what it's worth. Think it's fire. I kind of love you had the holiday, Dr. Evil with the pinky, Tatum grabbing his wrist. I'm all for it. People are going to clown you for being hurt or try and take advantage of you being hurt. Let them know you got it. You still got it in the bag. Yeah, I thought but I thought it was so impressive that he just dialed in the fourth quarter when they needed somebody to help them get across the finish line. Didn't really feel like he made any really bad decisions in the fourth quarter. I think there was 1 3 that I was like, "Oh, man," like, of course, he did the watch this 3 in this moment, but besides that, I thought he did a really great job of being aggressive in this game, and he didn't shy away from the type of physical ball Orlando was playing. That's fine. That's what they had to do. That's essentially the key to beating Orlando. The one thing they really have is that they're willing to get dirty. They don't really care. They're gonna play hard. They're gonna bump you, and they're gonna make the refs call it. And if you let it get into your head the way they did in game 3, then it might win Orlando a game or 2. And the Celtics didn't really seem to let it bother them in this game.
The watch this threes are so funny, like because, and I'm saying this because I've been watching more like playoff basketballs and going on around a lot, right? And we
Yeah.
sit here and not that you were like picking on Jayson Tatum, but like nitpicking, like, oh, there was this 1 3 though. This is not a Tatum thing. This is an NBA thing. This is every fucking team has every player who takes these shots. Like this is not like and I do think there is part of it where Tatum is prone to it more than maybe some other superstars, but like Anthony Edwards takes those shots. Luka takes those shots. Shea takes those shots. Hell, Jokic took that shot and got lucky because he fucking airballed it and it landed in Aaron Gordon's hands. So I feel like the watch this threes are a bit overrated in the fourth quarter at least, because that's the offense. Like that is offense in the fourth quarter. Like I hate to burst the people's bubble who want to see perfect 80s Celtics basketball at 48 minutes a game. You can't do that in the fourth quarter, and you especially cannot do it against a team as aggressive and as physical and as pushy as this Orlando team. So just a thought I've had because I've watched some playoff basketball. But Kristaps Porzingis finally decided to show up.
They figured something out with Porzingis.
They figured something out. And listen, I don't want to start off on a negative note, but saying Kristaps had a good game in this game is sort of, and he did objectively. He did. I see your face. He objectively had a good game, but this was like the thought process I had when I was watching it. Saying Kristaps had a good game in this one is like saying a water bottle, like bottling plant, is really good at like bottling water bottles. Like he was good because he was programmed and set up in the perfect positions. Whenever Kristaps got a shot that was not a dunk around the rim set up by a teammate, he was fucking terrible still.
He made some threes. First threes of the series.
Set up by who? Were they self-creation?
He made them.
He did. And again, I don't want to turn this into like Kristaps bad. He was objectively good. He did a perfect job of filling the role the Celtics needed him to. He screened, he slipped, he cut off the ball, he put himself in positions for his teammates to set him up. But you still need to see more in the self-creation post-ups, because if you're getting stopped by Corey Joseph in the post, we have a problem. Regardless, I just thought that was a funny analogy, so I wanted to get out of the way. Kristaps was actually really good in this game. You needed the scoring. You needed that extra valve. And on like a much grander scale too, and credit Kristaps for being this for the Celtics, the Magic take away threes, and so the Celtics needed to find other ways to score, and they didn't in game 3. Kristaps screening, slipping, and making himself available in these spots was that in this game. And so shout out to him for sort of adapting his game, and shout out to the Celtics for finding him in those spots to be effective.
Yeah, I think when we were prepping for this series and we were doing the little film things, obviously film is a stronger area for you than it is me, but we really keyed on how Orlando will blitz off the screen because they just don't want the ball handler to be able to take a 3. They're trying to limit those. They've done a great job of limiting the Celtics all series long. If you're going to blitz the ball handler, guess who's open? The roll man. And Porzingis finally started aggressively rolling to the rim. He got dunks, and he got himself going that way because it was looking like it was going to be another fucking shit butt-ass game from Porzingis. He still, for some reason, cannot do his signature "I'm taller than you" shot. It just doesn't work. I don't know why it stopped working. I've never seen him miss that shot. Now it's all he does is miss. Did he use all of his makes too early? But anyways, he gets himself going with the dunks. And I just think it calmed him down just enough. He wasn't perfect. He missed some threes, but he also finally made his first 2 threes of the entire series in this game. And they were big. They came in the second half. They needed him to make those shots. It was a big part of their punchback thing they did when Orlando tried to get themselves lead, tried to get back in the game. And he also has the brainiac play of the game where there's a great inbounds play from Missoula where Porzingis catches a lob at the rim, calculated, misses the layup, gets his own miss, pads the stat, and then gets fouled for an and one dunk. And in the theme of Missoula ball, 3 is greater than 2. Big brain play. There were a couple of these. Tatum had one in the first half too. Might be something to monitor from a schematic standpoint, where you miss the open layup so the defense can foul you on the putback. But in all seriousness, I commend him for hanging tough in this game. I thought when he got put back in the game in the fourth quarter, when he had 5 fouls, he did a good job of being patient. Even though some of the fouls that he picked up early in the game, he wasn't playing good defense. He was impatient. He had a really great closeout on Wendell Carter in the corner where you were like, holy shit, he's going to fly out at him and jump. Perfect position, cuts off the drive. Well done. The best you can guard with 5 fouls. Good job, Kristaps.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so funny. You said like he had this brainiac play, and I sat here thinking,
We
I'm
don't
like,
talk enough about it.
I'm like, what could he possibly be talking about? I'm like, did he like cut off the ball at a certain time? Then you say it, I'm like, oh, he's doing some fucking bit, and I was mad because I fell for it. Anyways, regardless, before we
Yes.
continue, I need to tell you guys about Game Time. It's the best place for all your ticketing needs this basketball playoff season, this baseball season. GameTime.co and the Game Time app. I'm going to pull it up so I can show you all the great features that you can get on there. I'm still in Orlando, so we can take a look here because the weekend's coming to town to Camping World Stadium. That's right by where our Airbnb is. You take a look here and you can see some of the best stuff about Game Time. You can see the super deal, which Game Time rates as the best deal in the stadium for the price and for the seat view you're going to get. If you're not on bad Wi-Fi, you can get a much better view. The stars mean they're amazing deals, and then the fire emblem right down there means you are getting the cheapest deal in the stadium. You can toggle the feature on and off so you can see fees, so you don't get surprised with hidden fees at checkout. And my favorite part of the Game Times features are when you click on a seat and a ticket you're interested in buying, you can see the exact view from the seat that you're going to potentially be sitting in. So you know exactly what you're going to see from that seat once you get to the venue. On top of that, you also get last minute deals, which means you can save up to 60% off buying last minutes for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. And that last part's important too. It's not just sports, it's not just basketball, baseball, whatever. Concerts, comedy shows, theater, anything you can think of, you can find on Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Back to the game. I want to talk about actually, no, I lied. I'm going to pivot. Al fucking Horford rocks, man. Holy shit, this guy rocks. This guy is unbelievable. He shot like shit. He didn't make his open threes, but it didn't matter because not only did he have 5 blocks in this game, which is amazing. He was killing the Magic on defense. But you could like actively see Horford pick up his physicality level and say, you're not getting this rebound. He got 5 rebounds in this or 6 rebounds in this game. That's a lie. Because the amount of times he either boxed somebody out, bodied someone in the paint so somebody else could get the rebound or like tapped it out of somebody's hands. He impacted, impacted like 15 rebounds. Shout out to Al Horford. This is one of those games where you look at the box score and you might not be like jumping with excitement. He had his fingerprints all over this win. And he's fucking 90 years old and he's still playing like this, which is ridiculous.
If I had to power rank the guys on the Celtics that I would want to guard Paulo, I think he would be number 1. I just think he has been the most patient. He's strong enough not to get bumped off the spot once Paulo gets to his mid-range where he wants to pull and bump off of him. I'm so proud of it. Loved it. Loved that they can rely on him for that. The 5 blocks were really incredible. And I'm in the process right now of writing about it for Celtics blog, but Horford, right in KCP's face, showed him how to properly have a good villain game in a hostile environment. Jack, you talked to the guys, you posted the picture of them with their Horford crying t-shirts in game 3. He comes out tonight. I believe he was on the receiving end of loud boos when he was introduced. 5 blocks, most by anybody his age or older, tied with Kareem. He is 15th all time for playoff blocks, and he was extremely impactful. He had a big offensive rebound late in this game. Tatum misses a corner three. Horford gets there from across the opposite wing for the rebound, gets them an extra possession at a key part of the game. You just can't make it up. I know Mazzulla said it after the game. There should be a special box score for a guy like Al Horford to really encapsulate what he brings to the table. And I just think it's true. You can't really look at it and be like, wow, he guarded Paulo and did a great job and didn't really allow him to get any easy buckets. He stayed in front of him really well. Hats off to the man. I mean, I hope he can do this forever. He rocks. He's a Celtic legend. The people here love him. He has beautiful eyes, and he blocked a fuck ton of shots.
This guy rocks, man. It was so fun. It was so fun watching Al. He like stared down the crowd at one point too. It looked like, which was fun.
Yeah,
after a big play,
after he blocked Corey Joseph, who had a
insane block,
overly impactful game.
Yeah, Corey Joseph is good in 2025, man. What a wild thing. Derrick White quietly had like a monster game. 18.7 rebounds, 7 assists, 7 11 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. Made big fourth quarter 3 as he does. 7 assists was huge. His work with Kristaps in the pick and roll, and Al, I think a little bit in the pick and roll. Actually, no, I think it was mainly Kristaps. Worked really well, and it was almost. And I need to go back and look. I wrote it down. I wonder how much of it was them trying to keep their best defenders out of it, because obviously, if you run a pick and roll with KP and JB or JT, then you're going to have better defenders in it who are more physical and can guard KP better on the roll. But if you have Derrick in it, you'll probably have like a Corey Joseph who, I mean, still managed to stop Kristaps, so it didn't matter. But I wonder how much of that was a part of the Celtics plans. Shout out Derrick White, though. I mean, it feels like outside of that game 30-point, he struggled a little bit to find his rhythm, especially from 3, because the Magic are doing such a good job denying it. But he found a lot of other ways to make an impact in this game. And that's what you need, especially with Drew out, because I truly do think if Drew was healthy, the Celtics would have swept this series. And like missing Drew Holiday is way more important than it's going to be made out to be. Like when people talk about the series, he was unbelievable in game 2, good in game 1, but like unbelievable in game 2. And they missed his defense and his playmaking in game 3, and they missed it tonight. But Derrick stepped up and sort of filled that gap, so that was good.
Yeah, I mean, Derrick is always going to make the clutch shot. It's just kind of tradition now in the fourth quarter. Check the pockets as soon as the ball's inbounded. You know he's going to make the shot. And he did make a big one. They needed that to start the fourth quarter. So I really liked what he did. He moved the ball around really well today, too. He had the play of the game where he gets the stop 1-on-4 in transition, where Orlando...
How ridiculous was that?
It was unbelievable, because at the time, Orlando is coming all the way back. They have erased, I think it was maybe double digits in the first half. And the Celtics are falling apart at the seams in the closing couple minutes of the second quarter. He stops Wendell Carter at the rim, gets the ball back, they come down and get a basket. It changed the course of this game. It was the bend don't break moment. It was Derrick White by himself against 4 Magic players, and he didn't break. Unbelievable.
I don't think I've seen... Draymond might be the only one who's as good at stopping fast breaks as Derrick. You have like LeBron chase down blocks, but I'm talking about like full fast break are not safe when Derrick is in the mix. So shout out to him. And shout out to Sam Hauser for finally making some threes.
All it took was me to say he was dead on the pregame show.
He did it. I can't. I have something in my throat. But shout out to Sam Hauser and shout out to Cornette. We'll lump them in. I know we had to talk about Jaylen too, but I wanted to talk about that more extensively. Excuse me. So Luke and Sam, good.
About fucking time. My God, they needed Hauser to give them anything off the bench. Good for him. He made 2 big ones in the first quarter. Luke Cornette, not a big stat sheet game, but there was a big difference in the way he held his weight against Wendell Carter. He was actually boxing out, sealing him off the offensive glass. A big reason of why the Celtics had 4 more offensive rebounds than Orlando was his gatekeeping of the offensive glass for the Magic. You need that. When you're trying to control the game, you just can't give them as many extra possessions as you did last game, even if it doesn't necessarily correlate to a billion second chance points. It's just backbreaking. It is a lot to remain engaged as a defender for 24 seconds and play your best defense. And to just look up, see that ball bounce off the rim right into somebody on the offensive team's hands, it'll rip your guts out. It sucks. You can't let that happen as a big man. And Cornette was really not his best self, to say the very least, in the preceding games. But it's good to see he found whatever it is inside of him that keeps everybody safe. Good job.
Terp said he had the Tony Snell stat line. I thought that was a bit disrespectful for his game.
Today, he had a rebound.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And an assist, the big assist to Sam Hauser. Regardless, before we continue, I need to quickly tell you about the great shows over on the CLNS Media Network. If you're watching here, you're watching on the How About Them Celtics channel, so make sure to leave a like and subscribe here. But make sure to check out CLNS Media and CLNS Celtics All Access over there as well. You can get all of the Celtics post-game press conferences from the podium and the locker room over there on Celtics, on the CLNS Media. So check that out. And then on Celtics All Access, you can get a bunch of great podcasts. Obviously, check out First to the Floor. Those guys rock. I know Sam did the playback with them tonight. Check out First to the Floor. Subscribe to Noah Delzell's pod. You got Boston. You can check out the Garden Report, obviously, which is live after every game. The A-List. So many great shows over there. Make sure to check them out. Dome Theory. I know Bobby does a great show too. So check those out. Make sure to subscribe everywhere. Turn notifications on so you can know when all of the new shows and podcasts come out. So shout out CLNS. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe there. And subscribe here, too, to How About Them Celtics. And we'll circle it right back here to this game. I want to talk about Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is so clearly still hurt. Like very hurt, right? And it doesn't matter because he's such a motherfucker that he is playing through pain and still making an impact. This guy Matt on Twitter, his name's at like Bacchus Smart with like an underscore in the middle. You're familiar. He had the perfect tweet, and so I'm gonna credit him, but I want to read it verbatim because it like perfectly summed up. He said, Jaylen tonight, man. He could barely get up for uncontested dunks and just had an amazing second half while dragging one of his legs around. I used to be one of those guys who got frustrated by him at times, but I'll never question that dude will do anything to win. I'm pretty sure that plenty of guys would be sitting in the least demeaning way possible. I'm so proud of that guy. He wasn't like perfect by any means. He was still a little loose with the ball. You could still see he was hurt. He was still not able to get up for some layups. But my fucking God, I think Jaylen Brown had a much bigger impact on this game than people are going to give him credit for. Purely, like, if for nothing else, all of last game, the Celtics fumbled their way through their offense, couldn't get into anything fast enough. Like, we're just failing. This whole game, whenever Jaylen Brown got the basketball, he was fucking running down the floor and he was getting something happening. And they got so many good looks just because Jaylen Brown and the rest of the Celtics sprinted in transition to get there. He had 20 points or maybe 21. He had 21 points, 11 rebounds, 2 steals and assists. He's only 6-16, which isn't great. He didn't make it 3. He's still 0-3, but he was 9-10 from the free throw line. So he was also getting to the stripe like Tatum was. It wasn't perfect. There's still like a clear injury there. He still, doesn't have the bounce. But this dude is impacting winning as best as he possibly fucking can, and you got to give him credit for it.
Yeah, if you want to talk about impacting winning, look no further. Second half, Jaylen 3 of 5 from the field, 7 of 8 from the free throw line for 13 points, grabs 5 rebounds in the process too, hitting the glass, giving you a little bit of extra effort on top of the offensive boost he gave them, which was much needed with Tatum off the floor. He was getting to the post up at the free. He was playing Kristaps ball is what he did. He is taking Kristaps Porzingis, shoot over the little guy, powers away. He's making good use of them, and he's showing a drive to win. Now, if you want to talk about a prime example, if you're like, oh, wow, he's hurt. There was a play in this game where Jayson Tatum, it might have been a fast break. If not a fast break, it was a really good half-court set that created a 2-on-1 down low. Tatum gets the ball, diving towards the rim. Defender goes to Tatum. Brown cuts in from the wing, gets a bounce pass from Jayson, lays it up. If Jaylen is healthy, Jaylen explodes, goes up, 2-hand slam, dunks it behind his head, screams when he grabs on the rim. Instead, we got a layup. 2 points, nonetheless. Still counts the same. But it's little moments like that you can kind of see and be like, yeah, probably isn't 100%. And as the playoffs go on, I do wonder how much of a factor this is going to be. I don't think Jaylen Brown has directly correlated to them struggling against Orlando. I think if you want to point at anything that has been an issue with Jaylen, it's I don't know why he plays with fucking butter on his hands. He just always seems to lose the ball in like the most low pressure, like just misses the grab or like whatever it is. Like it's not even like he's under a ton of pressure getting the ball poked away. He's just losing it. That's the thing that stuck out to me. I don't feel like he's physically as strong on defense right now. I don't think he's had the best defensive series. I don't know, man. I guess we can't like get upset about it yet. The wheels haven't fallen off yet? How long are they going to stay on? That's the question. But he was really good today. He deserves the credit. He was great from the line. He's been tremendous from the free throw line this entire series, and that's not something he's typically good at. So shout out to him for stepping his game up there.
And also, like, worrying about Jaylen is completely valid because you don't know how it's going to impact it. It is completely out of his control. Like, this is an injury. It's not like he is just, like, dog shit. He's hurt. He's hurt. And he's got to play through it. And it is what it is. We didn't talk about Pritchard either. Pritchard was fine. Still couldn't get any threes off. I mean, he took 2, but he couldn't make 1. 2 assists. Pretty non-impactful. I mean, I think he did an okay job standing up on defense. They scored over him a few times, but that's inevitable. But I don't know if you have any strong Pritchard thoughts before we move on, but he's whatever.
I thought he
Probably
was
kind of
like
bad, but
well, he's not giving them the same offensive boost he typically does. In this game in particular, I thought he was fine. Even though he wasn't giving like he only took 2 shots, right? He's not leaving a hole in the defense. He's not being a seal. He's holding his own. He's being aggressive defensively. He's not afraid of the moment. I think there's value in that. I think it's something that we can all be excited about going forward. I hope in the next series he's able to get a few more looks, be a little bit more involved in the offense, especially considering that Drew Holiday hasn't been in. I'm surprised that the offensive production hasn't been good from him. So I'll be monitoring that in Game 5.
Orlando's just denying threes, man. As far as the physicality in this game, I think I've identified the difference between the Magic and a regularly physical team. So, did you watch the Pistons game? I don't know how much you watched because
I watched almost the entire game. I missed like the first couple minutes.
Okay, so there was a play, I think later in the game, where Josh Hart was going up for a layup in transition, and Cade Cunningham contested it and sort of like grabbed him, didn't let him score, and then put him like he fell to the ground, whatever. Right? There was another one where somebody else was going up for a layup, and Cade like wrapped him up. In the case of like those 2 teams, that was a very physical game, and the Celtics, right? If you get beat or something, they will either wrap you up, not let you score, or in the Celtics case, they will just play as good defense as they can, and maybe they foul you, but they will be making a play on the ball. Same thing with the Knicks. Like maybe they'll foul you, but like Cade tried to make a play on the ball, couldn't, so he grabbed him, whatever. As soon as you get by this Magic team, there is no more play on the ball. there is no more we are going to try to.
They are the guy at the park that's no easy buckets, no layups.
Yes.
Like that is them.
Yes. Like, listen, I don't think I think they were fine not upgrading it to a flagrant. That Wendell Carter shove on Derrick White was, damn, you beat me. All right, go fuck yourself. Like, there was no attempt to play defense. That was, I'm just going to hip check you into the ground. See you later. Good night. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope was being a bitch again. Like, just being an asshole. Like, I hate these guys. Suck. I fucking hate this team. I think they're rats. I don't think they play like a good brand of basketball. It's one thing to be physical. It's one thing to be noisy buckets. It's another to just like be so dog shit that you have to resort to just hip checking when you get beat. You stink, bro. It just like deal with it. I think it's so corny. I think it's so lame. And I think it's a shitty brand of basketball and a shitty way to play. So I don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with like Franz going up to Tatum and like bumping chest. That's fine, whatever. But like when Wendell Carter and Cole Anthony and KCP know they got beat, and so their instinct is okay, let me just throw this guy to the ground. I think that's lame. I think that sucks. I don't think it should be a part of the game. I think it's dog shit, and so I don't fuck with that. And that is it is no longer like one off. And Goga's flagrant on KP, I don't think was intentional. But like these other plays where they get beat. Anthony Black had one too. Tatum was going up for a layup. He just grabbed his wrist and threw him to the ground and stared at him. Like, that's fucking lame. That sucks. I don't like it at all. I think this Magic team is whack as fuck. And I can't wait for them to get, hopefully, I mean, we'll see. There's games to be played, but hopefully the Celtics can get in and out of Game 5 without injuries. But this team is whack. I don't fuck with it. I think
Game 5 a must win.
No, obviously not.
It feels like a must win.
I think,
jokes aside, not that I think they're going to lose the series. I just don't want them to have to lose any fucking guys if they have to keep playing. Like, this just feels like you're in a boxing match or a UFC fight, and the way UFC works, which is always like kind of funny to me, or boxing too, I guess, is like the champion only fights like every couple months because they have to physically recover from the fight. Thing about the NBA playoffs is there is no, you have to recover from fucking fighting the Magic for 5-6 games. Like,
well, they'll get a couple. They're lined up to get a couple weeks recovery coming up.
A couple days.
No. The Knicks are recovery games, brother. If that's who goes through to the next round,
well, they still have to play the games.
I saw someone say on Twitter, going from the Magic, no easy buckets, to getting to attack Cat and Brunson in the pick and roll is going to be like paradise.
I don't disagree, and I can't wait to see them dog walk the Knicks. I just need them to be able to grab the leash to dog walk the Knicks. Like, they have to have all 5 fingers to hold onto the leash. Holiday, I really need to see get healthy.
Yes.
Not that I think his hamstring injury has anything to do with the Magic in particular. I just think it was a thing that happened. But they're lucky that he's the only guy that is affected by this series, because there have been some bumps and bruises, and credit to Tatum for playing through the bone bruise, because I'm sure that's affecting
too. He's hurting too. You could tell after the game. It's also funny that like Holiday is the only guy out of like the entire starting unit who we haven't seen get hurt or thrown to the ground, and he's the one who's out
because he dunked like a fool.
It's because he dunked. I don't fuck with this Magic team. I think that it's whack.
Meanwhile,
they're good, but meanwhile, what?
On my side monitor, I'm watching the death of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, the Bucks are terrible. I feel bad for Dame though. Sorry, that's
Achilles.
So bad. That sucks, bro.
Now it's just Giannis and like 14 me's out there playing basketball.
You know what I will say? I'm sitting here in Kia Center in Orlando. Magic fans,
good fans,
really fucking good. Really good fans.
All
I'll give
three of
them
them.
credit. No, they show out. Like I need to give credit. Like even past like just being here, and like it is an objectively good environment, and like they do drown out. There are some like there's Celtics fans. Obviously, it's Florida. There's a big pipeline from like New England to down here, or whatever. And so it was probably like 20% Celtics fans. That's like unavoidable if you're the Magic. 25 maybe, but like they drown them out. Whenever something started, you could drown them out. Tatum did get MVP chance, which was funny, but like they drown out everything. You can tell they're good fans, and even on Twitter, right? Like I can disagree with them. I think the Magic are playing dirty, and I think it's fucking lame. But they go to war, and I can respect any team's fan base who's willing to go to war in real life on Twitter or whatever. So I've earned some respect for the Magic fan base. They have impressed me, and for a fan base that, like you said, is like all 3 of them. Like no, this is not one of those. So
they're allowed on TV.
I gotta give them credit. I give them credit.
They were good last year against Cleveland, too. They were a good home court advantage. They won all 3 games in Orlando.
Yeah, so credit them, man. And credit. I mean, hey, maybe they earned the 6-man jersey being
6-man jersey.
I don't know. I don't have anything else. I think that's it for me. You got anything?
Man, I'm tired as shit. Shout out to Horford for
exhausted.
in KCP's face, showing him how to be a good villain. Just awesome.
KCP sucks, man. Fuck that guy. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and all the same. Take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Oh, also, Liverpool won the league. Thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment. Let us know what you thought of Game 4. Subscribe and hit the bell. We're here every single day with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps drop the morning after each game. Other videos are on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find us streaming here a half hour before tip-off. We'll also be streaming on CLNS. We're chatting with the chat. We're making some selections before the game, and we're doing GeoGuessr many of these games. So It's a lot of fun. Come hang out. Come calm the nerves before these big playoff games. You can also find all pods and recaps up on Spotify and Apple. Make sure you leave a follow. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very much. Tell your friends. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Let us know how you're feeling heading into Game 5. hbtcpod@gmail.com. We'll be recording tomorrow at some point, so get them in. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.